and welcome. My name is Lottie and I'm going to take you through today just a short little sequence just to get the body moving at a slower pace. It's a more gentle practice inspired by hatha moves. Just take it at your own pace. As always, feel free to grab a block or a cushion to use throughout the practice. I'll cue when you can use the block or cushion. Again, if you have any injuries or any parts of the body that don't feel quite right in certain moves, just come out of that move or take it a little slower. Again, use a prop to have that extra support, and just check if it is suitable for you. Check online or with your doctor. And I hope you enjoy. So we're going to begin either in a seated position, cross-legged position where you've just got the legs stacked, perhaps sitting onto a block just to help increase length in the spine, or you can come to sit onto the knees, which is actually quite a nice stretch for the feet as well. So I'm going to come onto the knees. Again, you can use a block or two blocks, prop them in between the legs just to raise the seat a little more. So getting nice and comfortable, we're just going to take a nice breath, just roll the shoulders down and back. Just allow the arms to become a little loose to the sides, and then just rest the hands in the lap for a moment and just gently closing off the eyes. We're just going to take a moment to ground into the seat. And just soften the breath. And become aware of our surroundings. Any noises, just allow those to fade out, become distant. We're going to gently just ease into our first breathing practice, our pranayama, just to really get the breath to move into all corners of the body and really breathe deeply from the base of the belly. So it's quite a simple breathing technique, but we're going to take the hands, placing them on the lowest part of our ribs, just kind of giving our hands a little hug around the belly. I really want to focus on sending that breath to this part of the body. And I'm going to count on these. So we're going to inhale for a count of 4, and then we're going to pause and enjoy that pause. And then we're going to exhale softly for 4 as well. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose. If 4 is a little too much, just drop it to 3 or even 2, whatever's more comfortable for you. So we're just going to close off the eyes here. And then we're going to inhale for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. We're just going to move the hands a little bit higher up the ribs. Moving the breath to this part, soften through the shoulders. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. And just taking the hands, placing them over the chest, over the heart space. Soften in the body. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. I'm just going to take the hands, place them into the lap where it is comfortable. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Just softly releasing, coming back to our normal breathing pattern. Allow the belly to become soft. And we're going to gently open the eyes, keeping the gaze quite low to the floor. And then we're going to inhale together, drawing the arms up to the sky, stretching through the fingertips. And on the exhale, we're going to take the left hand, planting the palm down into our mat, and reaching our right arm over to the side, opening through the ribs, keeping both sitting bones grounded if we're sat on our heels or onto the mat. And then just peering under the arm. And then inhale, coming back to center. We're going to switch over to the other side. So taking the right hand down, stretching over the left arm, really cracking open that left side of the body. Inhale, coming back to center, over to the left again. This time really try and stretch as far as you can. Inhale, come back to center, over to the right one last time. And inhale, coming back to center and releasing the arms down. Just give the arms a little bit of a shake, give the hands a little bit of a shake. We're just going to come to a gentle neck stretch. So sitting nice and tall in our seat, through the crown of the head, lengthening through the spine. We're going to take the left hand, place it gently on the right side of the head. Inhale here. And then on the exhale, we're gently dropping left ear to left shoulder. You can close the eyes off here. Staying heavy in that right shoulder. And just feel that really nice opening into the neck. Continue those nice long inhales and exhales through the nose. So you can go a little deeper with the exhale. And then gently on the inhale, releasing the hand, coming back to center, switching sides, taking the right hand to left side of the head. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, dropping ear to shoulder. Maybe closing off the eyes. And gently releasing, come back to center. I'm just going to come into a little throat stretch. So I'm going to come to the side so you can see. And through this, you're going to close your mouth quite tightly, so keep the jaw shut, closed. And we're going to gently ease the chin up to the sky, dropping the head back. Only coming as far as you feel is comfortable, especially if you've got any neck issues. So we're going to take an inhale here, lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, gently easing the head back, keeping the mouth tightly closed. Just enjoying that really nice stretch in the throat. And softly coming back to center. This time we're going to take the hands, clasp them together, just placing them in the lower parts of the head. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drawing the elbows together and drawing chin to chest, coming into that nice upper back stretch, right into the neck. And easing on the inhale, coming back, releasing the hands. And we're just going to come to make our way over onto all fours into a tabletop position. So you may just need to give the legs a bit of a shake if you've been sat on the knees. So we're taking the knees hip distance apart and the wrists stacked in line with the shoulders. So flattening out through the spine, engaging the core slightly here and keeping the gaze in between the hands. Once we've got our nice aligned posture, we're going to come into a few cat-cow stretches. So on the inhale, we're going to gently drop the belly down, opening through the heart space, drawing the shoulders away from the ears and taking the gaze in front of us, feeling that really good stretch on the abdominals. And then on the exhale, we're going to tuck the chin to chest, curving through the spine, pushing through the upper back, so you're really pushing the floor away from you. And then inhale, dropping the belly down, taking the gaze forward. Exhale, scooping it back up. Inhale, coming back through. Exhale. And we're just going to go through a few more cat-cows, either coming up and down as we are currently doing, or you can go from side to side, or maybe you want to bend through the elbows, drawing the chest down and curving back up. Just have a little play around with different movements and just do what feels good for your body. It's really nice to move quite fluidly through this movement on all fours. Maybe sway through the hips, dropping down to the feet, moving with the breath. So you can go as slowly as you want. It's a really good way to wake up the spine, especially if we've been sat at a desk. Just getting that spinal movement. And then gently easing back into our tabletop. So just coming back to our alignment, lengthening through the spine again. Keeping the gaze in between the hands, we're just going to shift the right hand to the centre of our mat. On the inhale, we're going to sweep the left palm up towards the ceiling, stretching through this chest space here. And then on the exhale, we're going to thread the left arm behind the right, hovering the shoulder just above the floor, pausing here. And then inhale, we're going to draw that left arm back up. Exhale, drawing it through, hovering. Inhale, coming back up one last time. And then exhale, threading it through. This time we're going to come to land onto the left shoulder. Just making sure those hips stay high. And we can stay here, or you can walk the right fingertips out in front of you. So you're feeling this really good stretch on the upper back into the left shoulder. Just opening that shoulder blade up. Taking a few deeper breaths here. And easing your way back into tabletop, drawing the arm back up. This time switching sides, so taking the left hand to the centre of our mat. We're going to inhale, draw the right palm up to the sky, stretching through the chest. Exhale, threading that right arm behind the left, hovering off the mat. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, threading it through, pausing here. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale this time, dropping the shoulder to the mat. It's this deep shoulder stretch. Maybe walking the fingertips out in front to increase that stretch. Again, taking a few breaths here, keeping those hips squared off, sticking up to the sky. And gently easing the hand back to the body, pressing back into our tabletop. I'm just going to come into a puppy stretch, so it's not quite a child's pose where you come back onto the heels. Rather, you're keeping the hips raised up, and what you're doing is you're opening up through the chest and under into the arms. So knees about hip distance apart, and we're just going to begin to walk the fingertips out in front of us, only coming as far as you feel is comfortable. And then we're just going to ease the chest down towards the mat, keeping the hips up. This may be where you want to grab a cushion or a block, where it may be that you don't quite come all the way down onto the mat and you just drop the forehead onto the block, or maybe the chin keep raised onto the fingertips. And then we're just going to take a few deeper breaths here. Allow that chest to just melt into the mat. And then when you're ready, just easing yourself back up from our puppy stretch. We're back into our child's pose, into our tabletop position. We're just going to take the left leg on the inhale, shoot it back behind us. So we're lengthening that leg out. Just take a quick glance at the foot, making sure the toes are pointing down towards the mat. Got this nice level hips. Taking the gaze back to the centre of our mat. On the next inhale, we draw the right arm out long in front of us. So creating this strong energy line from the fingertips right through to the heel. Just holding it here for a few more breaths, nice and strong. Really activate the core. One more breath here. And then on the exhale, we're going to draw the knee to elbow, crunching it through, activating the core, and then release the hand and knee back down. Just give it a little sway through the hips. Coming to the other side, so on the inhale, we shoot the right leg to the back of the room, just taking a quick glance at our alignment, making sure the toes are pointing down, hips stay level. Gaze back to the mat. Inhale, we draw the left arm out long in front of us. Got this nice neutral spine, the neck is neutral, strong energy line. A few breaths here. One more inhale. And then on the exhale, we draw the knee to elbow and release back down. Just take the knees to the width of the mat for a moment, big toes to touch, and we're just going to push back into our extended child's pose. Allow the arms to just reach out above you. Chest slowly melts down into the mat. Soften through the shoulders, soften through the lower back. Allow the belly to soften and the breath. Remembering that child's pose is always a really nice asana to come back into when we feel maybe we've lost our breathing pattern or we feel a little tired and want to take it a little slower. Just come back into child's pose. And you can always pause the video and take a few more moments rest. So from child's pose, we're just going to gently ease our way back into our tabletop, just shifting the knees in line with the hips, spreading the fingers as wide as we can, having the index finger pointing towards the front of our mats. We're going to tuck the toes under and just give a little bounce back and forth on the toes, just giving those toes a bit of a stretch. And then when you're ready, we're going to come up into our first downward dog. So pushing the hips up to the sky, maybe keeping a bend in the knees for the first one. And we're just going to take a couple of moments to have a play around in our downward dog. So you may want to bend through each knee, maybe sway the hips from side to side. Just make sure that you're really lengthening through that spine and keeping the neck quite neutral, so you're not holding any tension through the shoulders and the neck. And then coming to our still dogs, so gently easing those heels down towards the mat. You can keep a bend in the knees here, reaching that tailbone nice and high. And we're just going to gaze at the right foot. We're going to take the right foot either just gently hovering it off the mat or coming into full three-legged downward dog. Holding it here. And then on the exhale, we're going to draw the right knee into the chest, planting the foot in between the hands. Maybe just wiggle the foot a little bit forward, dropping the back knee down and then tucking the toe. Here we can roll the mat in for extra protection for the knee. We're just going to set up for a low lunge, so checking in with our body, making sure we've got that nice 90-degree angle in that front knee. Try to take the pressure off the back knee so you're pushing into the top of the foot. And we're going to plant the left palm into the mat. On the inhale, we're going to reach the right arm up to the sky, coming into an easy twist. So twisting from the core, drawing that chest towards the knee. One more breath here. And exhale, releasing that hand down, framing the foot here. Inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up, coming into our low lunge. Exhale, sitting into that lunge, squaring those hips off. And each exhale, see if you can ease into it a little deeper. And keep the arms up to the sky, shoulders soft. Or if this is a little too much on the shoulders, just take the hands into the heart space. Keep the gaze quite soft. And gently release the hands back down to the mat. We're going to tuck the back toe under. We're going to sweep that left foot to our right foot, coming into a forward fold at the top of our mats. So you can give a bend in the knees here. Just allow the upper half of the body to fold over those legs. Just a little nod through the head. And then on the inhale, we're going to gently peel the body all the way up to standing, drawing the arms up to the sky. And exhale, hands through center, coming to our Tadasana, our standing pose. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears, palms out to the side, firm, feet firmly grounded into the mat. On the inhale, we sweep the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, we come into a halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, we plant the hands down in front and step back either to a high plank or coming onto the knees. Inhale here, and then on the exhale, we're going to draw the elbows in towards the body, making our way to lie onto our front. Just checking that the hands are about the breastbone, having the feet about hip distance apart. We're going to push into the tops of our toes. On the inhale, we draw up to baby cobra, opening through the heart space. Exhale, release. Inhale, pushing into the palms, coming to our tabletop, tucking those toes under and pushing back into our downward dog. Just taking a breath here. And I'm going to come to the other side. So just shifting our weight into the right foot. On the inhale, we're going to raise the left foot, either three-legged dog or just hovering it off the mat. On the exhale, we draw the left knee in towards the chest, planting the foot down, dropping that back knee, setting up for our low lunge. Just checking in with our alignment. Grounding both corners of the body. Planting the right palm into the mat. Inhale, we open the left up to the sky. Opening through this chest space, coming into our easy twist. And exhale, release the hand down. Frame the foot. Inhale, we sweep the arms up, coming into our low lunge. Exhale, sitting that a little bit deeper. Squaring those hips off. Keeping the arms raised or drawing them into the heart center. Couple of breaths here. And gently release the hands down. Tucking that back toe under, raising the body and sweeping that right foot to the top of our mats, coming into our forward fold. Inhale, we come into halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward that little bit deeper. Really release through the shoulders and the neck. Allow the top half of the body to become really heavy. And then gently on the next inhale, we sweep the body back up to standing. Draw the arms up to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart, coming back to Tadasana. Just give a little shake through the body. And then we're going to make our way to the center of our mats. So we're going to come back down to the floor. So we're going to come down into a Malasana squat pose. So taking the feet just a little wider than hip distance, maybe to the width of the mat. Slight out turn of the feet, so we're opening into the hips, easing into this. It's quite a deep stretch, so come into it as slowly as you like. Also using support as well. We can use a block in between to come to sit on to, or we can use blocks to prop underneath the heels. So we inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Or on the exhale, we gently ease our way down into our squat, maybe just swaying slightly side to side. And then using the elbows just to wedge into the thighs, just to ease into those hips. Maybe get a little wiggle from side to side. And again, you can stay in this pose for as long as you want, maybe closing off the eyes. Stay nice and long through the crown of the head. Take some deeper breaths here. And then when you are ready, just gently placing the hands down, ease yourself out. Coming to sit cross-legged onto our mats. So when we're here, we're going to meet in a seated position. Remove the fleshy parts of the sitting bones so we can ground into the mat. Having one leg stacked in front of the other, just allow the knees to ease out to the side. On the inhale, we're going to lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, we're going to gently walk the hands out in front of us, pausing halfway. On the inhale, we lengthen that little bit more. And then exhale, see if we can walk that bit further in front. Keep heavy in the hips. Keep those sitting bones grounded into the mat. It's not about how far we come down, it's really about focusing on keeping that length in the body. Keep soft through the shoulders. We just want to feel that really nice deep stretch into our glutes, into the lower part of our back. Into the hips. And then when you're ready, easing your way back up to our seated position. Just switch the legs over, so the one at the back comes to the front. And shifting Getting nice and comfortable. Inhale here. Exhale, we fold over in front, pausing halfway. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, we fold forward. And when we feel we've come far enough, just gently dropping the head down, release through the neck. Again, it's quite nice to use props here. You can prop a cushion in front of you and it's just like a really restorative pose, folding over. Or maybe grab a block or a brick and prop the forehead onto the highest point of the block. And gently, when you're ready, walking the palms of the hands back to our seated position. Just going to sit nice and tall in our seat here. Just placing the hands wherever they're comfortable in the lap. Or you can draw the hands into the heart space. And we're just going to close the eyes off here. Just taking a couple of breaths. And I'm going to close the practice with one final release of breath. So we're going to inhale through the nose, really fill the lungs to the top, and then we're going to exhale through the mouth, releasing that air. So inhaling together. We'll just do one more. Inhale. And softly releasing. And you can stay seated or come down to lie in Shavasana to close your practice. Just take as much time as you want. And I hope you enjoyed this little sequence and hope to see you soon. Thanks.